Hello. So I'm putting this video together because I wanted to share with you a very special recipe. This recipe is my spell cookie for success recipe. And so the special part about these cookies is they're fortune cookies in a way. So with the spell success cookies, you definitely want to see how many you naturally make in your batch. But when we cook with herbs and different spices, our kitchen witchery is connected to the influences that we're able to manifest through the ingredients. And the ingredients that we're using has some amazing magical powers. So I wanted to share this with you. So cinnamon is one of the most, if not the most ancient spice. When cinnamon is burned or smoldered, it raises and stimulates a variety of powers. This includes personal powers and psychic abilities. This makes cinnamon a valuable and necessary tool in any witch's kitchen. The spell for this matter concerning your victory or success in a specific situation is called for. Cinnamon can be used in two ways: smoldered and eaten. The main focus will be on the cinnamon as a strong focal point or ignition source for your spell. The other ingredients will assist in the success of the spell and create delicious cookies. So sugar is for love, lust, and attraction. Brown sugar is used to detach your spirit from its relationship with others. It's very helpful in getting in touch with your real spirit, used to boost your efforts in gaining more knowledge and wisdom. We'll use flour. Flour is used for fertility, money, love, divination, protection, and healing. You'll need baking soda. Baking soda is good for cleansing the aura. You'll want salt, and sea salt is what I use for protection, purification, and manifestation. Vanilla we'll use. Vanilla is used for attraction, money, persuasion, and business. So the ingredients that you will need is 3 tablespoons of white sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 1 cup of dark sugar, half a cup of white sugar, 1 cup of butter softened, 2 eggs, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You'll need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour and 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees and combine the 3 tablespoons of white sugar and the cinnamon in a small bowl and set it aside. Cream the butter, the dark brown sugar, and the white sugar, either in a stand-up mixer or handheld mixer on medium speed. Then add the eggs, and vanilla extract. Mix until they're light and fluffy. Mix in the flour, the baking soda, and salt together in a separate bowl and add to the creamed sugar mixture, mixing on a low speed until it's all combined nicely. Use a 1.5 teaspoon scoop to form balls. Then roll each ball into the cinnamon sugar to coat it. As you're rolling the balls, focus on what you want, how much money you want, how the money will make you feel, and the ways the money can come to you. While you're doing this, roll each ball into the cinnamon to coat it. Place cookies on an ungreased cookie sheet and bake at 300 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. If your oven is notorious for uneven baking, turn the baking sheet halfway through the process, remove the baking sheet, and let cool on racks once the cookies are done. You want a golden brown bottom. So you do want to preheat the oven to 350. But when you put the cookies in to cook for 18 to 20 minutes, you do want to drop that down to 300. When we're cooking in the kitchen, the herbs that we're using, such as in this recipe is cinnamon, we want to burn that in the cauldron. And what is important is to smell everything that is happening in the atmosphere. The stronger the smell, the stronger the spell. So some recipe notes that I want to explain. So spell work and supplies and instructions. Burn cinnamon in a cauldron, or if you have an ashtray or whatever you use for ritual. But I burn it in the cauldron. And I like to use the cauldron charcoal pucks. Those, if you buy the Swift Light, those will light and usually burn for 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what herbs are putting on them. So I will put my cinnamon on that while I'm cooking it. And you want to prepare your kitchen before you create these cookies like you would any sacred space. So you will clean it, sweep it, and make sure that you're in a relaxed state and are able to focus on the goals that you have on hand. Usually before I begin rolling my cookies, I make sure I can smell the cinnamon in the kitchen and make sure that that fragrance is filling the room. And once the fragrance is in the kitchen, then I start to prepare each ingredient, focusing on my goal. It's important to make sure that before you put the ingredients into the mixing bowls, that you do take the time to connect with the ingredients. I did explain what ingredient is used for what. So holding them and focusing on the power of each ingredient, or focusing on your prayer going into your prayer or intention going into the ingredients. So you have in this spell cookie recipe 7 ingredients. So make sure that you put your intentions into each one of those 7 ingredients. And then when you focus on rolling your balls, you are thinking about everything you can to experience the manifested results. You do want to see your goals in your mind, and you do want to see yourself receiving the goal. Keep this in mind and keep your vision clear as you mix, stir, and bake your cookies. Once the whole process of making the cookies are complete, release the energy as if you were diligent in maintaining your mindset. Your cookies will be filled with energy for success. Every time you enjoy a cookie, you will be reminded of your goal as you are brought closer to your goal. The magic activates when you smell the cookie before it is eaten. This recipe can also be used for love spell cookies, as cinnamon is also one that is known as a natural aphrodisiac, and the same as vanilla. So if you are on a date or you do want to get closer to your partner, get them to smell a cookie and give them a treat. See where that leaves you. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Now, as you roll your balls, you want to roll the balls 1 to 1.5 inches. Take note on how many cookies you made. On the new year, I made my cookies and I make them the same size all the time. And I use my cookies for myself, and my husband loves them. And so do the nature spirits, because I do use them as an offering as well. But my recipe of 24 cookies actually made 48. So for me, that is an omen that my financial state is going to double this year. To me, that is very exciting. And so with that, take note on how many cookies you get above 24, and you can't intentionally try to make more. You have to naturally just form your balls, roll your balls, and then see how many balls you end up with. And when I make the cookies, I don't flatten my balls. I put them in the oven the way I put them on the pan. And yeah, so let me know how many cookies you made. And I'm excited to experience your magical success as you make these cookies. Have a great day. I hope you enjoy them. Bye-bye.